What if I told you that for most people over 60, the thing damaging their memory isn't some rare disease or a dramatic event? It's something you probably have in your kitchen right now. These are drinks you've trusted for years, sitting quietly in your fridge, your coffee cup, or your pantry. They're often recommended by friends, advertised as healthy, or even suggested by outdated medical advice. The scary part is, the damage doesn't happen overnight. It's slow, subtle, and silent. They think forgetfulness is just a normal part of getting older, but in reality, it's often a sign that something in their daily routine is quietly working against their brain. This kind of memory decline rarely starts with big obvious lapses. You walk into a room and completely forget why you went there. You lose your train of thought right in the middle of a sentence. And because the effects are so gradual, it's almost impossible to connect the drink to the damage. Her family just assumed it was normal aging, and Margaret accepted that because, well, why wouldn't she? What she didn't realize was that one specific drink she had every single day was quietly making the problem worse. She simply removed one beverage from her daily routine and replaced it with something gentler. Within a few weeks, she noticed something incredible. Her thoughts felt clearer. That mental fog that had been following her around all day started to lift. What seemed like the unavoidable decline of aging was actually a reversible stress on her brain. Here's the thing, the aging brain isn't weak, but it is more sensitive. As we get older, our brain cells become less resilient to things like inflammation, blood sugar swings, and sleep disruption. Decades of research have shown that certain beverages can actually speed up brain aging by damaging blood vessels, increasing inflammation, and preventing the deep, restorative sleep our brains need to repair themselves. These effects don't announce themselves with pain or obvious symptoms. Instead, they just quietly erode our cognitive function over time, making the brain work harder and harder to do what once came so easily. So, what are these drinks? Let's start with one of the most misleading: diet soda. But the artificial sweeteners in these drinks place a unique burden on the nervous system. These chemicals can overstimulate brain receptors, creating a state of chronic neural stress. Over time, this constant stimulation can lead to mental fatigue, poor concentration, and memory issues. Even worse, artificial sweeteners can disrupt the delicate balance of bacteria in your gut. When you juice a fruit, you remove all the fiber that normally slows down sugar absorption. What's left is a highly concentrated dose of sugar. When all that sugar hits your bloodstream at once, it causes sharp spikes that damage the tiny blood vessels in your body, including the ones that supply your brain with oxygen. Over time, this reduces blood flow to your memory centers and accelerates cognitive decline. What feels like a natural, wholesome choice can quietly undermine your brain health when you drink it every day. We also need to talk about sweetened tea and coffee. Now, tea and coffee on their own can actually be beneficial in moderation. But many of us unknowingly turn them into harmful drinks by adding sugar, flavored syrups, or processed creamers. All these additives increase inflammation and worsen insulin resistance, both of which are strongly linked to memory loss. Chronic inflammation creates an environment where your brain cells can't communicate efficiently, leading to slower thinking and that feeling of mental fog, Even plain coffee, if you drink too much of it, can become a problem after 60. Caffeine stimulates your nervous system and raises stress hormones. In younger people, the body can bounce back pretty quickly, but aging brains take longer to return to balance. Too much caffeine interferes with deep sleep, which is the most critical time for your brain. It's during deep sleep that your brain cleans out metabolic waste and strengthens memory connections. When that process is disrupted night after night, your memory will suffer, no matter how healthy the rest of your lifestyle is. And then there's alcohol. It's often seen as a small indulgence, a way to relax in the evening. But even moderate, regular alcohol consumption has been shown to reduce brain volume over time, especially in the areas responsible for memory and learning. Alcohol also fragments your sleep, preventing your brain from completing its nightly repair cycle. Many seniors who experience worsening forgetfulness don't realize their evening drink might be contributing far more than they think. But the single most damaging category of beverages for the aging brain is sugary drinks of all kinds. This includes regular sodas, sweetened juices, energy drinks, and sweet teas. Liquid sugar enters the bloodstream incredibly fast, overwhelming your body's ability to manage it. This fuels inflammation, damages blood vessels, and speeds up brain aging. Long-term studies consistently link high sugar intake to faster cognitive decline and an increased risk of dementia. The danger isn't in having one on a special occasion. It's in the daily habit that quietly compounds the damage over years. What makes all these drinks especially harmful is that they often replace the one thing your brain desperately needs: water. Dehydration is extremely common in older adults, and even mild dehydration can impair concentration, memory, and mood. So when sugary or artificially sweetened drinks take the place of water, the brain gets hit with a double whammy. It becomes underhydrated and chemically stressed at the same time. Simply restoring proper hydration can lead to noticeable improvements in mental clarity within just a few days or weeks. Protecting your memory after 60 doesn't require drastic, life-altering changes. It starts with awareness. When you remove these harmful drinks and replace them with water, herbal teas, or simple unsweetened options, you give your brain a chance to recover. So many people report improved focus, a better mood, and clearer thinking just by making these simple swaps. This proves an important truth. Memory loss is not always an unavoidable part of aging. Your brain has an amazing ability to heal and adapt, even in old age, as long as you give it the right conditions. Reducing inflammation, stabilizing blood sugar, improving your sleep quality, and staying hydrated all contribute to better brain health. Beverages might seem like a small detail in your day, but they are one of the most frequent and influential choices you make. Changing what you drink can literally change how your brain functions, how clearly you think, and how confidently you live. If you're worried that it might be too late, it's so important to understand that you don't need to be perfect. Even just replacing one harmful drink per day can significantly reduce the stress on your brain. Over time, these small changes add up. Your memory becomes more reliable. That mental fatigue starts to disappear. Your confidence returns. You preserve your independence. Aging does bring changes, but unnecessary cognitive decline doesn't have to be one of them. When you understand how everyday drinks affect your brain, you regain control over an area of your health that can feel mysterious and frightening. Knowledge replaces fear, and small, consistent choices become powerful tools for protecting your mind. The future of your memory isn't just determined by your age or your genes. It's shaped by the habits you repeat every single day, especially the ones that seem harmless. By choosing beverages that support your brain instead of stressing it, you give yourself the best possible chance to stay mentally sharp, independent, and fully engaged with life for years to come. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this helpful, please subscribe for more tips on staying healthy and sharp at any age.